Windshield wipers to the soul. Hello. I hope everybody is doing well. Let me see if I can find my spot. We have Sling in the house, Secretary Sling. I'm going to catch hell for that probably. He agrees. How are you, sweet Pam? So since we're just getting into the stream, I am going to ask everybody to grab something, find anything close, whether it's a bottle of water, something that has a little bit of weight, a noticeable weight. We're going to do a little exercise with it. I have my great big cup of tea. So holding that straight out to the side there's some weight. You know, I can hold it, but it's definitely got some weight to it because it's full. So tonight's subject is on the universal laws, and we're going to cover 3. You have three unmutable laws that cannot change. And 2, it depends on who you talk to, because you could do a search for spiritual laws and universal laws, and everybody has an opinion. But the original laws are actually based on, excuse me, on Hermetic tradition, Egyptians, and these universal laws that are unmutable really have a lot of I don't know the word I want. I'm having a momentary brain fart. They are intrinsic in every aspect of life. You have, let's see, there's the law of correspondence. We were going to talk about the law of vibration tonight. There's the law of mentalism, the law of gnats being a pain in the butt, and I do not want another gnat up the nostril. The universe exists in perfect harmony, or so we think, and the order by which is through these virtues, or the virtue of these laws, I mean. And oh, that was thunder. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. At least I think it was thunder. That was interesting. The laws are not there as punishment. They're not really there to reward you either. They just are kind of like the sun rises and the sun sets. And there's no changing that. Unless, of course, Bill Gates has his way. Just kidding. The first 3 laws, if you go through the 7 universal laws, you can find 12 universal laws. You can find 21 universal laws. And then if you change the wording around and make it spiritual laws, that too changes the outcome. We're going to go with just law of attraction, law of karma, and law of vibration tonight. Another name for the law of karma is cause and effect. What you reap, so shall ye sow. These mystical, esoteric, ancient teachings, they all have a common thread, and these date back more than 5,000 years ago. It's just kind of a principle of the universe. We all know if we're constantly fretting and thinking about all of this stuff, we tend to get deeper and deeper into that stuff. And as we get deeper and deeper, more of it shows up. And that's holding that vibration, that frequency of all of that muck and mire, kind of like being a magnet and drawing it to you. With the law of attraction making the charts back in 2005, was it? 2006, with the movie The Secret. It was all good and well, and it gave you a sense of hope and a sense of, I'm not a victim. And I'm still hearing things. I am going to bring up Secretary Sling. And hello, dear.
Hi.
I'm hearing something at my front door, and I don't know if that's another beast attacking kittens or what, but I will be right back. You got the show.
Oh, great. How's everybody doing? I know I said hey in the chats and all, but how are you doing tonight? Hopefully you're having a good night. Awake. Hey, Fatma. I wonder what it is. I wonder if it's another critter or something. Hopefully it's not a wild hog. She's being a real... Well, no, she's got a fence. That's right.
Okay, I'm back. No, it wasn't a hog. I think it was just thunder, because I didn't see anything on my porch. Which is a good thing.
Yeah,
It's funny
you told me that
hogs,
story about
I was
the
just
hogs that
looking at
bores
it.
me.
Well, yeah, I don't have a fence around. I mean, they can just get in anywhere from my property. It's 14 acres of woods.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good, Terry.
So, who had a twang?
Critter, you had a twine.
Was that you?
Yeah, because I said critter.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I didn't say, I am hoping never to have a twang. I kind of hear one, but I had people telling me when I was 16, are you from Texas? It's like, no, I'm born and bred Californian. Don't know where you're getting that. And then I moved to Texas. Go figure.
Well, thank you for letting me up here, by the way.
I wasn't going to keep you prisoner long.
No, I was getting kind of... I saw rats. I was getting scared. They looked hungry. I'm a big dude.
Funny. That's funny. You're rotten. Okay. So, anyway, I want to start off with the law of vibration, but I want to bring up a couple things first, and I'm going to wait to see if we get a couple more people before we get too far, because I want to do a short meditation to help bring everybody into nice kind of sense. It calms things down. It's been a rough couple days. Actually, even before the week was over, it was rough. So um, I think we could all use a nice little happy space. Amanda, when you laugh like that, it scares me.
Oh, she does. She'll cry. She'll cry when she laughs. Tears just rolling down her eyes when she laughs.
So I need everybody to find an object. I don't care what it is, as long as it's got a little bit of weight in it, so that when you extend your arm, you can feel it. We're going to do one little test with that. I think you're asking a lot, Pam. um, but whether it's like an object that because it's so long it has weight, um, but just anything that you can hold, and through the you can still hold it, but also too it's got a little bit of weight that your muscle is being engaged, if that makes sense. I also have my cup of tea. I can do it there too. I just can't drink too much of it or I'll not be able to have that weight. We're going to do something called applied kinesiology. Your body is its own lie detector. And so in doing the applied kinesiology, and there's other ways of doing it. I'm going to show you three, kind of sort of four, because I'm going to use this as an explanation. It's like when you go to the store and you buy yourself your vitamins, or you buy even food, you can hold it to your chest. Not, if this is where you're, I could try to bring my, okay, so sling, go down about 3 inches. Right, yeah, right about there. Maybe just a hair lower. You can hold your bottle there, whatever it is, or your pack of cigarettes if you wanted to test cigarettes. I don't know where these pop-ups keep coming from. I should have none. But anyway, you just hold it there. Your feet should be parallel, but not together. Your knees relaxed, not locked. And you just, are these good for me? And I always say truth. Are these good for me? And then I just sit there. And sometimes it's fast. Sometimes it takes a minute, but I'll feel like maybe I'm going to start to fall backwards. I'm going to start to fall forwards, and I wait until, because it kind of goes back and then forward and back, and then finally I move forward if it's good, and I move back away from it like I'm trying to fall away and push it away. But that's a good way of testing stuff. It's also good, read the labels and know what the heck's in it. But that's probably your best way to do it. The three ways that we're going to do with kinesiology, though, in this scenario, is what's called the O ring. There's our O. Well, wait, there we go. There's our O, and just take a finger and, like, when we do it, you're gonna hold tight, but not like it's like you've got lockjaw, right? So that you can just lightly pull, right? But you want to have some resistance. The other one is scissors. And so you would do like this, and when we do the test, if you might wiggle it a little bit, but if it just goes like that, that's your no, and that's your yes, or your positive and negative. This is your positive, and this is your negative. Okay? And then the other one is when we hold the cup or whatever in your hand, and we're going to make a statement. And with the statement, we'll either get a yes, which means we can hold it there and we're not feeling like it's becoming a lead weight, or we feel like our muscle is weakening. And that's the no. Okie dokie. Probably the best one is the O-ring, but for some people, the scissors works really, really good. It's, a little movement's good. It's this that isn't good. This is yeah, it's not good for you. There are also having somebody test you. So you would stand there, put your arm out, which is what I was explaining before, Sling, when they did me, and not straight out to the side, but slightly at an angle going that way. Not straight ahead and not straight to the side, but kind of like almost in the middle. And they would just lightly press on the wrist. And if it stayed straight, no movement, that was a positive. But if my arm went down, that was the negative. So, the benefit to the kinesiology is, like I said, you can go and test, are these vegetables good? Is this one organic? Is this GMO? Is the meat good? Is my name Jack? These are things that we're going to test tonight, just for a few. The reason being, in the law of vibration, I am going to introduce to you something that was created by a gentleman named Dr. David Hawken. And it's the map of consciousness. And Sling and I already had talk about it. So he is kind of prepared for my onslaught. So are you guys ready to do a little meditation? We have 5 people. Thank you. Please be sure to share out the chat if you can, or the channel, and thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. Let's try to get a few more people in and raise our energy up. But we're going to do a simple meditation, kind of an abridged version of tomorrow night's work. I've already got everything planned or set up, I should say, for tomorrow night and for Thursday night, so we're good to go. See, I was a good girl. Got the thumbnails done. I'm proud of myself. So, and now I have a fly in here. Is this one of your friends? All right, everybody, get nice and comfortable.
Walter's friend.
Walter chases them, and it's funny. He'll sit there and he'll look and then jump. Sometimes he gets it, sometimes he doesn't. So, if everybody will get comfortable, I'd like you to close your eyes. No typing. Just relax. You can sit your hands palms up on your lap or on the arms of your chair if you're sitting in a chair. But just let them sit and relax. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. This first exhale is going to be through the mouth. Inhale. And then exhale. You want that push of air. So we want the sound. And make sure that these are Buddha breaths, meaning that your belly expands. And then the chest. And that's one more time. Nice deep breath in. And then this time on the exhale, slow, make it longer than the inhale. So if you inhaled at 5, exhale at 8. This will help to settle the vagus nerve. And if you feel kind of a yawn in there, that's good. It's a good sign that you've stroked the vagus nerve into relaxing. That's good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one more breath in. Place the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And exhale. With your eyes closed, pay attention to the inside of your lids. If you see any light, whether it's little sparkles or it's a color, maybe a light green or a little bit on the blue side, maybe it's purple or red, but just watch the color, watch the light, and sit in silence, just watching. Pay close attention. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let your awareness go to your ears. Try to feel the shape of your ear without touching your ear. Feel the warmth or the coolness. Notice where you sense the ear canal. Let your mind be present as you breathe in. Feel the pressure, however slight, in your ear, and exhale. Continue to breathe nice and easy. Return your attention to your eyelids again, and let your eyes actually look upwards towards your forehead. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slowly bring your awareness to your throat. As you inhale through your nose, feel the air going down your throat. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out. With your left hand, tap your heart. Allow the corners of your mouth to curl up slightly in a smile. And think of something or someone you dearly love. That makes your heart swell. That you can't help but smile. Give this warm, loving feeling a color. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take this color. When you inhale, imagine a ball of light all around you. And as you inhale, this sphere expands beyond your shoulders, 6 inches, 10 inches, 2 feet. And the more you inhale, the farther it goes. And as you exhale, it stays, it remains just where it's at. Now with your right hand, tap the crown of your head and let your mind travel to where you've tapped. Breathe in. And breathe out. All that love you generated in your heart, when you breathe in again, send it up to the crown of your head, just where you tapped. Breathe in. Feel it get brighter. Feel the top of your head tingle. Breathe out. Remember to smile. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Pay attention to how your skin feels with this light all around you. It's okay. Be aware. Is it warm? Is it cool? Does it tingle? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax. Let go. Take a nice deep breath in. Imagine a light coming up from above your head. Exhale. Blow it all out. Breathe in again and feel this light just pour down through the top of your head, down through your forehead, into your throat, down into your heart. And it goes all the way down through all the energy centers, down to the earth, out through your feet, through your hands. Exhale and breathe in. And now pull up the light from the earth, going back up, all the way up, 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 and out the top of your head. Like you have two cords of energy. Feel yourself rooted in the earth and attached to the universe. Know that you are loved beyond measure, unconditionally, ever and always. Take a nice, easy breath in. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Slowly let yourself come back to all of this. Be present. You can open your eyes. How does everybody feel?
I feel good.
You feel softer.
Yes.
Did that help take the edge off? Great.
It did.
I think we're getting ready to have a storm because both dogs are this face staring up at me from under my desk, who's too big to be under my desk.
Yeah, Walter's groaning the whole time.
Yep, he's not like this one single solitary bit. He's just like, I don't know, Bob. I don't know. Okay, so now, yep, there's the thunder. Roll on thunder. I don't remember the song. It's a great Halloween song. Paul, what was his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. Tiny, short little guy. And if you've ever seen Phantom of the Paradise, it's a awesome movie to watch. It's actually a rock opera, completely twisted. It's good. So now that everybody is nice and chilled, so here's the things we're going to do. Going back to the kinesiology, after we go through the map of consciousness and law of vibrations and stuff, this is probably going to end up being a two-parter because there is just so much, and we're really only going to probably be able to touch on one. That's your side. I was hearing kind of like almost like a door, a squeak, or a swing. It was weird. I don't know. Anyway, on to work. Now that everybody's here, since this is probably going to be really lengthy, I'm going to give you a choice. Never mind, I'm not. Stick to the game plan. Stop it. Thank you. Get out of my head. I hate when they try to change things up on me. So, as I started to say earlier, depending on who you read, who's doing the talking, all of these different universal laws or spiritual laws, you've got 7 universal laws where the 3 are considered to be immutable, meaning that they just don't change no matter what. From day 1 to day 0, they will always remain the same. The mutable ones, the ones that are subject to change, law of attraction is actually considered part of, but not necessarily its own. And again, like I said, it just depends on who you're talking to. But it's part of not the law of rhythm, but the law of gender, which sounds strange, and law of gender doesn't have anything to do with the biological genders. That can be part of it. All it means is that it is a mutable universal law that's evident throughout creation in the opposite sexes, so male and female, dark and light, right and wrong is also in there. Masculine, feminine. Masculine and feminine don't necessarily mean, male, female. It's just there's more of a masculine, stronger energy, force, and think of like stone, and feminine, softer energy flowing like water. If you think of water has 3 phases. But no matter what, it's still water. So if it's steam, I think that's 212. I don't remember. But anyway, you've got steam at, X degrees. But when you cool that steam down, it goes back to being water. But now if you turn and drop the temperature down to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, now that water becomes ice, but it's still water. It's just changed its structure. So that is part of the law of gender. It still is moving but staying the same. It is taking on different forms. And when we get into this map of consciousness stuff and going into frequency, you'll see, matter of fact, let me find you a picture because it would be so much easier. Due to copyright, I could not get the one from his book for you because, well, I don't want YouTube slapping my hand. And of course, it's StreamYard. Sorry, I had a brain fart moment of where I was to go share. see, should be, oh, it's that one. All right, energetic, where are you? So, check this out. This is, they're calling it energetic resonance. This is based on Hawkins' map of consciousness. Now, when you see these numbers here, like shame at 20, guilt at 30, what he did was he used the kinesiology, the applied kinesiology, to get a specific number frequency, if you will, or vibration of that energy. It doesn't mean that shame is 20. It means that somebody who lives in this state of shame, their consciousness, right? The way they think, it's the way they feel about themselves, it's the way they feel about life, it's the way they react to life. Maybe they're withdrawn, maybe they're suicidal. You know, that stuff, and really that whole view encompasses from shame up to fear. Those are pretty much, your range where people react to their circumstances or their belief system about themselves. I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm broken, I can't measure up, there's something wrong with me. All of these things, nobody wants me, nobody loves me, my parents didn't love me, all of that stuff fits in this frequency range. And this is a program we have accepted because, number one, we were kids, that's what we were taught, so we don't know any better. And then as we got older, things affirm it or reaffirm it. And then we think, see, I'm right, I was right in believing that. And so, again, as I stated much earlier before the meditation, is we get into this mindset, into this belief, and so that vibration being like a magnet, if that's all we're thinking is fear thoughts, well, the more fear thoughts you think, the more life brings you things to be afraid of. And so this conscious awareness, because we're all here for a reason, to better ourselves, to learn more about the unseen world, and not just speaking of it as a paranormal aspect, but as everything in life is frequency. This light shining down on me emits a frequency that is measurable. Our bodies emit frequencies that are measurable, and it has nothing to do with beans, just in case, Sling, or ginger. So when you realize that the thoughts you are thinking are not you, they are a broken record of the past, of things that people have said, have shown, demonstrated, acted upon. And we're all victims, and we're all guilty of saying something out of the heat of the moment. This whole scale that you see here is your strides to break out of these mindsets. The average human being is in the 200 range. Getting above 200 takes aim and effort, and it has to be consistent. It can't be today I'm going to try to be better and tomorrow, F it. It is a decision, and it is a process. So learning a multitude of stuff, from applied kinesiology to law of attraction and I see dead people kind of stuff. It's just all a day in the life, and we just take it one step at a time. I do have for everybody the beginnings of a journal for writing down your processes, your steps, your desires, to first kind of take a good look at this and decide, well, this is what I think about myself, and then to ask the question, why do I think that? Who was the first person to say that to me? And you may not even remember that great grandpa or grandpa or some stranger in a store when you were wee said something, and that imprints, because every thought, every emotion resides within our energetic field. This field that can be measured and can be seen, not just by people who are clairvoyant or claircognizant, but machinery that can see this energetic field. It all exists there. So that's why people like myself sitting down doing a reading can pick up stuff, because you got this prominent thought up here that just is hanging out, and you're not dealing with it. You've tried to encapsulate it, you've done whatever, and so there's no addressing it, and it just stays there. You haven't had somebody come, or you yourself just grab it and throw it away. Put it in the violet flame and disintegrate, dissolve, and disconnect. So I'm guessing they're wanting frequency here, because that's what's going on. So knowing that everything is a frequency, if you look under a microscope, you know, a powerful microscope, you can see the atoms. But then when you get even more in depth, you see that that atom is actually 90, what is it? It's 98, 99. I mean, it's almost all empty space. But yet it's the whole premise of life. I mean, the bed you're sitting on has atoms moving around, and I have a smart aleck here who says it's not the Addams family, so it's not Gomez. Don't ask, I don't know why. And then I see Fester. So somebody's being a smart aleck. But everything, your desk. So technically, by all right, that energy, because it's doing this stuff and moving around, it's alive. Shades of Frankenstein. So your desk is alive. It's not an inanimate object. But due to magnetism, back to frequency, everything repels. So it feels solid. You repel. I've had 2 experiences where briefly I fell through something and turned around and looked and hoped to God that nobody saw it, and maybe somebody did see it, because was that real? If you've ever had one of those moments. And here, it's raining. Yes, I know. Okay, come here. Come here. No, both of you. Gracie, what's wrong? Gracie. Okay, you too. Yeah, hey. Weenie. It's okay. It's just the rain. I promise. You guys, you know, you're rude. All right. So much for that idea. Anyway, back to frequency. So everything in your energetic field, every thought you've ever thunk, from we to not so we, is still here. If you haven't dealt with it, if you haven't addressed it directly to say that that is not true, not real, it does not apply to me anymore, I am no longer that, and thrown it away, it's still there. If you are holding resentment towards somebody, again, frequency, that resentment sends out a signal. It'll attract people of that same ilk to you until you can cut the ties and recognize that you are harboring and holding on to this circumstance that is like a lifeline back to the past, back to that moment that you were wounded, injured, betrayed. That's the whole point of cutting cords, cutting ties, making peace with yourself. Forgiveness isn't about removing them from their karmic debt, which we'll get into the law of karma here shortly, but it's about ending the cycle, cutting them off from you so that they don't hang you back, so that they don't strangle you, that you can breathe, you can evolve. If you've ever wondered what you're doing here, it's all about your spiritual evolution, about your soul's evolution. There are so many people that walk around oblivious to the fact that they are a soul. They're not this physical body. They are the driver of the body. It's like you're the driver of your car, but you're not your car. So you're a soul piloting a body. Your soul is in charge of deciding your thoughts, feelings, and reactions. I am the soul, spiritual self. I am the thinker of the thoughts, the feeler of the feelings, or feeler of emotions, and the mover of the body. I lift my arm up. Who raised my arm? I did. I think about somebody I love, and I generate that feeling in my heart of that love, and I make it grow. Who did that? I did. I think about an apple. I imagine an apple. Who thought about the apple? I did. So we can spend our life walking around in utter oblivion, autopilot. It's like if you've seen those commercials of, is that Domino's? Yeah, Domino's, because the Noid. And they've got these supposed cars that have no driver. So they'll pull up to your house and roll down the window and you give whatever, and then it gives you your pizza. Don't know if that's real or they're just doing that for the ad, but cars that drive themselves, that would be like the world now. We've got so many people who don't know who they are, and so they're literally bodies that have a soul asleep at the wheel. And they get into so much stuff. And then when they have that awakening, it's too late. They're already in jail. Or they're somewhere under bad circumstances. What was I thinking? Oh, that's right, I wasn't. So with these universal or spiritual laws, when you realize that they are all tied together, law of vibration in a nutshell is everything in this life is a vibration. If you've ever seen a sine wave or a heart monitor where it goes up and down and it may do a couple little ones and then spike, those are frequencies. Different hertz, the heart muscle beats. but actually it's more appropriate to say the sine wave, like with music. Um, it's still a frequency that the heart's emitting. The heart produces 1,000 times more electromagnetic energy than the brain does. You can literally get into your heart and expand its energy out more than 12 feet on around your body. And they can measure it, they can see it. They have machines that will record that. And no, it has nothing to do with body heat and like those um, infrared lenses.
Thermal imaging.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. It's not thermal imaging. It isn't heat. It's like you could take an EMF meter. They use them for ghost hunting. And go take your at your wall socket and measure the EMF coming off of that. The EMF off of your computer monitor. We're one heck of a battery. You produce, what was it? 1.4 volts of electricity per cell. You have 50 trillion cells in your body. That means you produce 70 trillion volts of electricity.
It's more than a power plant.
Mm-hmm. I'll drink to that.
Well, think about it. One reactor only produces 82 megawatts. That's 82 million watts. Just one unit. You're producing more than that one reactor because you're in the trillions.
Yeah.
Just put that in a little easier, little perspective of how much you're really putting out.
So that's, what goes on in here. And our body uses it to send signals to the muscles, signals to the brain. You have more information going from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart. Your heart possesses 40,000 neurites. We've all heard of the neurons that run through. Sorry, we have hitchhiker. Through our brain, all the memories. Well, your heart possesses memories. Your cells possess memories. Trauma. They have recognized for several decades now, if you've been in a car accident and you have not properly dealt with that trauma in your body, the shock, the impact remains in the body. And so good body workers, good physical therapists that know this stuff will work on pulling it out of the body, because you may have panic attacks for no reason and not even associate it to the car accident, or other scenarios that will just rear its ugly head, like just having an anxiety attack while you're sitting there watching a movie, and it's a funny movie and you should be laughing and not going, oh my God, what's going on here? My chest hurts. I can't breathe. All of that lovely stuff. And there's so many different modalities out there to get help to remove this wound, this baggage. The body hates surgery, does not like being cut on. So if you've had your tonsils removed, if you've had a C-section, your appendix, all of this other stuff, gallbladder. We won't get into gallbladders because that's just a sore subject. But just because you've had an organ removed does not mean that the energy of that organ is not still resident in the body. We talked, was it last week or the week before? We talked about Kirlian photography and how they've taken pictures of people who've had a limb amputated, maybe missing a leg or missing a finger, and yet when they take this Kirlian photography, that they can see there's a limb there. The energetic outline, the aura, is still there. It didn't disappear when the leg got cut off. Disease starts in your auric field. So long before you actually are showing real symptoms, you may be showing some minor kind of things without any real anything showing up, but that's because it's out there in the energetic field. I know I said this last week. Master Ko was relating the story, and so was my teacher a couple weeks ago, about Master Chokok Sui working on some businessman in California, and he was getting, as he was doing the pranic healing, that there was something going on with his liver, and the guy said no problems, and he's like, okay, well, I'm getting something here, and you're well, I'm working on it. So he went to the doctor. Doctor said no, nothing wrong, but 4 months later he had stage 3 cancer, or stage 3 of the liver. So it was picked up on in the energetic field long before it made full manifestation in the body. So here frequency is added again, or think of it again like the magnet. If you're holding that energy, you're pulling it to you. So it's always a good idea to be happy, to be self-aware. Pay attention. If something's pissing you off, stop for a second. Why am I letting Sling, I'm going to pick on you for a moment. It may or may not apply, but I'm using you anyway. Why let a piece of metal dictate your mood, alter your mood, alter your train of thinking, make you upset, uncomfortable? It didn't work, wasn't working. God, you just gave an inanimate object power over you.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Yep. Yesterday, in fact, trying to put that alternator in that car yesterday.
Yeah, piece of metal. But so,
I forgot you're talking to slow. I'm sorry.
Yes, and it did. I let it get to me. I was letting it whip my butt, and I shouldn't have. And it went from start to finish. And now I look at it more. It was, well, I don't know, stupid right word, but it wasn't good for me to let it rule me. I should have ruled it.
Yeah, well, basically,
hey, Divergent,
not letting it control you, like you said. Not, hey, Crystal, not losing sight of who you were, because it wasn't feeling you. It didn't recognize that you were mad at it because it wasn't doing what you wanted it to. All it did was upset you.
Yeah, exactly.
There is this fine space, and I've mentioned this repeatedly, but there's this fine, like, sliver of time between reacting towards something. Something happens and you react. There's actually a sliver of time in between that you could look at it and go, And then, of course, you get to stretch that time like in the movies. Shades of slow mo. I'm seeing what is that? What was that movie? Iron Man. And everything just blowing up, but it's doing it in such slow motion, and you're able to look at every aspect of it and going, I should have done this, this, and this, and this, and then that wouldn't have blown up. Roland, oh my goodness, I have not seen you, young man. How are you doing, Rolly? She's going to get me, right? That nose is getting awfully close to mine.
I already know. I've already knew what she was planning on.
Yep, she's not happy though. She's sitting here shivering. So, yes, I love you too, but you're still not getting your nose up to my nose. She's so cute. And then, that same thing goes to people. If somebody comes up to you, well, we had this earlier today, and somebody getting snarky and having a fit. Instead of reacting to it, it's like, well, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're in pain because we know that they have issues. Maybe they're feeling that everybody else is attacking them. So, yes, absolutely, Roland. So having that space, that time to not just knee-jerk reaction and lash out, but look at it and say, okay, maybe I'll just send unconditional love right there. It's like, okay, I'm giving them understanding. I may not understand what's going on because we haven't had this conversation, but everybody has their moments. Just like being mad at little Peanut here for barking and scaring the wits out of me. That hurt too, right in my ear.
If you go the other way, you could add fuel to the fire and it just explode on you.
Which it
and
did.
Make things worse. And it's best to just remain calm and try to let them know it's okay. And, try to understand them.
Well, giving them space too, because at that moment it's not conducive. The energies maybe like a fried wire or a frayed wire, I should say. And it's like, gotta let things kind of
go from unstable to stable.
Yeah.
Exactly. A loop that is to remind myself not to react, to stay calm. Fire lights fire instead of younger me who tried to burn the forest down. Yeah, I used to have that same thing. And I still do somewhat, yes. But I'm trying to stop that.
Are you okay? Can I put you down now? Can I put you down? I love you. We'll see. She may be right back up. Okay, go on down there. Go to your hole. And when we briefly mentioned about karma and the law of karma, like I said earlier in our discussion, that out at Ren Fair, in my booth, because we were all the gypsies, and so we were the king's gypsies. We were a bunch of Russians running around talking with marbles in our mouth, and anyway, what'd you hit?
Hit by accident. Oh.
I'm confused.
Okay. Just go back and unhide them. Crystal, just click on the dots beside him and just unhide him. Oh, you got him already. Okay, good.
Anyway, what was it? Karma's a bitch. And
yes.
We are her enforcers.
Hmm.
Um, and really, it's like we're not. She boo booed, Amanda. Hey, I've done that before. I admit it. Ow.
I've done it before myself.
But, karma is the law of cause and effect. But the effect is not always evident. It's not an immediate. It's one thing to like drive your car 100 miles an hour and ram into a tree. Well, that cause and effect was immediate. But there are other things in life. You do something. Maybe you think to harm somebody, or you set up circumstances that they lose their job. You lied, you did whatever. Um, if you were purposely trying to set them up to fail and then eventually they did, well, you'll get yours. May not be this go round, it may be further on down the road, but it'll come back at you. The aim, consistency of aim and effort is to just keep trying to be better, keep working at yourself, keep doing everything to raise your vibration. It doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect 100% of the time, but maybe over time, over practice, you stop getting blindsided by things. Things don't just suddenly
Knee jerk, yeah.
knee jerk or T-bone you, whatever. I was thinking T-bone. I don't know why I saw a car. Um, but when you pay attention to things, so now I'm going to jump into law of attraction. Everybody thinks from the movie The Secret, law of attraction is about making money and getting the car you want, and you getting the new home you want, and getting that girlfriend you want, or getting that husband you want. Winning the lottery and doing this. But law of attraction is also getting your just desserts. If you are out there doing things to screw people, you are putting out that frequency and it's going to match you and you're going to have a head-on collision.
I'm guilty.
So in a nutshell, regardless of if you're going with the 7 universal laws or the 12 or the 21, everything in life responds to frequency, to energy, to your thoughts, basically. If you are always dwelling on going back to the I'm not good enough or I'm broken, and you hang on to that, it's going to find its way to prove you right. Wasn't that Ford that said, whether you say you can or you say you can't, you're right?
Hmm. Can you do that? Is that what you put out? What you get out is what you put out.
What you get out of things is what you put into it. If you're putting in positive, it's like if you're doing a good job and you keep doing good work and everything else, um, as long as you're doing it in the right vein and not doing it for ulterior motives, because your energy is elsewhere. It's like people who are being nice to everybody and trying, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do good. I'm going to feed the hungry and I'm going to help the poor because I know it's going to make me money. That's the wrong attitude, and that's not the way it works. You aren't
Hmm.
going to get that. You let karma do it, Melinda.
Yeah.
Because then if you try to facilitate karma,
It can come back to bite you too.
yep, because you're basically doing them wrong.
Hmm.
It's like, it, I can see that it's difficult at times to trust the powers that be, whatever you want to call them. Father, Mother, God, Creator, Jehovah, whatever.
Hmm.
The Tooth Fairy. Um,
That's
it's
a good point,
knowing that
Crystal.
it comes back.
Yeah, that's a good point, Crystal. Just
That's
pray that they learn better, and whatever happens to them is on them, not you.
yeah. If you go and try to be, the enforcer, as I was saying, then you're guilty of inflicting.
That's right. Yeah, right, Roland. Definitely. You're just as wrong as they are by trying to get back at them.
Exactly. So, like I said earlier, to repeat that was forgiving, because we are all striving to learn, to evolve. And part of evolving is making mistakes and learning from the mistakes. So all we can do is hope that they learn, or pray that they learn from their mistakes, that they too can evolve. So we forgive them because we know that this process of evolution is a process of learning and evolving and growing. And so forgiving them, we no longer are tied to them, and we basically wish them well on their journey to figure out that either they clean up their act, or they're going to have holes in their britches because they've had their ass bit so many times. Okay, so on that note, let's play. On the applied kinesiology, let me think of what I want to do. Oh, I had this quote for you: everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. Albert Einstein. I loved Albert Einstein. Well, not as much as I do Tesla. I love Nikola Tesla. That was a brilliant, brilliant man. So, Dr. David Hawkins, who I was telling you about earlier with his map of consciousness, has the ladder of consciousness under his book, Power versus Force. And in this map that he created, all the different levels of human consciousness, he used what we're going to play with here now is muscle testing, and it's called applied kinesiology. And it was a way for him to document the nonlinear spiritual realm. That's kind of a mouthful for just basically using the body as your polygraph to say yes or no when something was within a certain frequency. And the numbers that he used on his scale was to represent logarithmic calibrations on levels of the human consciousness and all that other fun stuff. So it was how he was corresponding those levels to the level of reality. That's why when you looked at the picture, It was putting shame down at 20. And I think fear was at 75, was it? Or 70, 80, something like that. Um, it says that his research was scientifically validated and published in his doctorate dissertation titled Qualitative and Quantitative Analysis and Calibrations of the Level of Human Consciousness. That is a mouthful. I knew I wasn't going to be able to share that without reading that. So there you have it. Bob's your uncle.
Oh, sure.
Yep. So we already went over basically the whole notion of you shall harvest what you plant, you reap what you sow. You know, another way of putting it is as one plants, so does he harvest. Whatever he earns, he eats. So if you're putting garbage out, you're getting garbage back. I think that's a good way to close off on all of the words. And if you've got, do you want to do the weight thing first, or do you want to try scissors or O-ring?
I'll have to do the O-ring because for some reason my fingers are just too easy to close down on.
Well, you haven't even tried to see.
Oh, I just I
you just did that. You didn't have any basis on it.
All right, let's go for it. I'll do scissors. Whatever you want to do. I don't care. I'm game. You're the boss. I'm just along for the ride.
Oh yeah. Where's Roland? I want to ask Roland a question. Rolly, are you there?
Yeah, Crystal let him out of timeout.
I don't know, but I want to know if he's still there, or if he took a left turn at Albuquerque. Because I noticed we're down to 6. I want to know if he knew anything about applied kinesiology muscle testing. There you are. Roland, do you have experience with applied kinesiology, the muscle testing, all that other fun stuff? Excuse me. Really? You're going to just keep bugging me, huh? It's going to drive me nuts. This tickle. Would you like to come up and explain what your experience is with it? Yeah, Crystal, back in 99, no, Donnie, I'm glad you're here. But yeah, Crystal, I first was introduced to muscle testing for that reason back in 99. That's where I learned it. That's why I was telling Sling about, like taking your jar and putting it against your thymus gland and then asking, is this good for me? Is this right for me? Is this for my highest good? Sling, if you could nab the link
in the chat.
I can't put it there.
Yes, ma'am. I got you.
Thank you, sweetie.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. I am the secretary, from what I've been told. Even though I'm the worst note taker there is. All right. There you go, Roland. Unable at the moment as I am in between clients, so I only
Oh,
have
no
a few
worries.
minutes left free. But there's a thingamabopper for you, Roland.
Yeah, certain chiropractors, holistic practitioners, physicians, etc., can do the muscle testing. Um, and there's so many depths, like there's specific areas under the collarbone, and I don't remember. Like I think this is D, and this was vitamin E or something, and so literally they would put your arm out, and do the two fingers on the wrist to test, and hold um, put a finger at different reflex points. And I'm believing that those are still also tie into the points in the traditional Chinese medicine for acupuncture. Um, but you could test, if somebody was low on vitamin D or vitamin C or whatever, if it was calcium, yada yada yada, which I completely fell in love with because it was like, oh my God, you can test on somebody else if they're test worthy, because sometimes people aren't in a good place and you have to balance them and all this other stuff to make sure that your electrical system is, running and not running backwards. You have meridians in the body. And that's why I always tell you to stick the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth so that you complete the circuit, because you have your um, why am I can't get this word out, your governing vessel and your conception vessel, and so they meet here and here, and so when you put your tip of your tongue, which is down here, or your tongue connecting from here to the roof of your mouth, thereby completes the circuit. It's a good way to keep your vibrations and everything going, and it's a good kind of moment.
It's 9 times out of 10, majority of the time, probably about 98% of the time, unless I'm talking, my tongue is touching the roof of my mouth.
Yeah, I have been doing it for so long that I sleep with it. And I've never asked. Is that a good thing?
Mm. Could be also muscle memory, too.
Are you doing K or K2? Because vitamin D and K2 should be taken together. And K2 is not potassium. It's still doing that. Sounds like an airplane rumble and just keeps going.
Oh, I love that. I could go to sleep on that so fast and so easy.
They're quiet, so I'm not going to rock the boat. That's interesting. Okay, so let me figure out what is a good question to start. Oh, that was another bigger rumble. I didn't quite like that one myself. So let's go ahead and we'll do the O-ring, and you can just hook a finger in, or you can do like make a chain. But this is the thing, is you're not trying to like tight so that you can't break it. Just a nice, comfortable, solid, and just a light pull that, okay, there's resistance, but you could still pull through. if you really pull hard enough, kind of thing. You're not going to use physical strength. This is not about how strong you are. Hopefully that was off camera because, oh no, it wasn't. I was thinking that there was enough space between, and so while I'm doing, it wasn't showing. Oh,
Were you doing the Bowser?
yeah, I was going da 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 da.
No,
You know.
I know him. I know
I
him.
liked Bowser.
I did too.
I thought he was great.
The shining eyes.
Yeah, when they were on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sorry, I'm getting off topic here. Sorry.
That's okay.
Had a squirrel moment there.
Yeah, well, I'm tying my hair up so it will stop bugging me. Because it's bugging me. So now I have a knot. I'm a knothead. Breathe. Let go. So it's like calibrating for true and false. It's like, okay, so I'm calibrating for true. Is this is for my highest good? And then you should have a good, strong. And then it's like, think of a name, any name that is not yours, not even remotely close to it. It's like, my name is Joe. You're taking too long.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think of a name. My name's Karen.
Okay. And then it's like, my name is Michelle.
Mine's Carl.
So you get that. It stops. Squirrel, I've seen it, yes.
You're Karen.
And then you can make you want to make statements, not, can I win the lottery? But it's like, let's see, what can I give an example of?
Ooh, do I have an easygoing temper? No, I don't.
So that's one way, and you can play with the notion of calibration. I mean, we're just briefly touching on this, but it's like, okay, so we know. Well, I know you don't. So ask. Buddha's Buddha vibrates above 200. Buddha vibrates above 200. Resist. That's the way you want to say it.
Carl, staying to sleep more. No, because no. Could I stand to sleep more? No, I can't, because I sleep 7 hours at night, 4 hours during the day. No, I don't need sleep more.
So I'm gonna do the single finger. So Buddha vibrates above 200. Resist. Buddha vibrates below 200. Resist. That hurt. Ow.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, that didn't feel good. I think I do better doing this way.
Yeah, the rings. Yes, yeah. The ring. Yeah.
And then you can do this one. So it's like, my name is Carl. My name is Kitty. Okay, well, I've been by Kitty for 40 years. But that's not my name.
Right.
My name is Michelle. So it's like, yeah.
There's resistance there.
Yeah. Whereas my name is Carl, just kind of, my name is Crystal. My name is Randall. My name is Roland. And then you could do it this way. So I got my heavy cup. And so I'm just holding it all the way out to the side, keeping my arms straight. No bend other than what's natural in the bend. And it's like, that's heavy. And so it's like, Crystal, I'm picking on you. Don't hate me. Crystal is a midget. Resist. And just pay attention to how the cup gets heavier and heavier, and it's like I can't hold it anymore.
Mm.
And then it's kind of like we could do, all right, so Crystal is 10 feet tall, resist. And it's like it hurts my shoulder to hold that up. Here we go. Okay. Metatron is over 14 feet tall. No discomfort in my shoulder.
Mine does, but it's a bad shoulder.
Yeah.
Probably I need to do my left one. Probably. That's that one I had the rotary cuff surgery on. Oh, yeah,
So
that's a lot more
it's
easier.
like, Metatron is over 14 feet tall. Resist. And just notice. I mean, after a time, sure, it's going to get heavy, but if it's a
Yeah.
fast degrade, or if it's
Metatron's only 6 feet tall. Oh God, that thing just got heavy.
yeah, so I mean, you can play with
God.
it.
Okay, that's quite pushing down.
But see, this is it's fun. It's a fun little thing that you could do. So it's like, Crystal, here's one for you. Whether you're going to do scissors or the O-ring, check. Crystal gets adequate vitamin D from her. Yeah. How do I word this? Crystal's body absorbs adequate amounts of vitamin D. Nope. Crystal's body absorbs 10% of her vitamin D. Nope. Crystal's body absorbs higher than 10% of her vitamin D. Okay, so you're getting more than 10%. Play with it. See what you can do. Write notes.
Let's see. I wonder, does my mom tell too many of my secrets to Saul? Yes.
I'm just gonna say no, she doesn't.
She does.
Your mom loves you.
I know, but she's always told me and my secrets to everybody. She likes to embarrass me.
That's the way moms are.
Yeah, and she was.
Where's Donnie? Donnie, you still in here? How about Donnie? Got something to experiment with? What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. I want to make sure nobody fell asleep on me.
Well, Padme and Pam, I haven't heard from them in a while.
Yeah, or Amanda. That's why I was just checking to see.
Yeah. I was sitting here trying to think who all's missing.
Like, she's just sitting and listening.
Yeah, Crystal, I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. You'll be able to be aware better because, being a person who suffered from PTSD, and I know that I still have traces. I haven't worked through all of it. There you are, Amanda. Thank you. So it's baby steps. All of these things that I've already worked through I've benefited from in removing a lot of the baggage. Case in point, let's see, my youngest daughter's father tried to kill me, and that created a lot of panic, putting anything over my mouth because he suffocated me with a pillow, aside a few other things. And so That's one big reason why I have never worn a mask during this fiasco. I refuse to. Um, they have trouble putting a oxygen mask on me. It takes a whole lot of willpower to be able to hold still for that. So, working through these things, um, I had a dentist abuse me. He strangled me. People with my neck. I'm wondering what's wrong with my neck. But I couldn't even call up a dentist to make an appointment because I would immediately start going into a panic attack, trying to just ask them if they work on patients who have PTSD from dental procedures. And at least now I can talk to them, but I couldn't. When I was taking my husband to the dentist, I was standing at their desk to ask about me, and I just completely lost it because I couldn't do it. Couldn't talk about it. So when you can do the steps to work through this and apply it, pulling off the Klingons. I'm gonna have to find that song and play it for you guys. So then you'll understand why I'm always saying the Klingons, because it's not really Star Trek, but it is. But it's not. It's from Dr. Demento, and
Okay.
but there are ways of lessening, diminishing, and removing the triggers, is what I'm trying to say. Are you trying to place the song I'm talking about?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have.
Okay, let me see. Dr. Demento, Klingon.
All right, good. Both of them are here. Both of them will wait.
What is it?
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Squirrel.
called Star Trekking.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to YouTube that. So I don't think you could play it because if you play it on here, you'll probably get whatchamacallit for
Dinged. Yeah,
yes.
the
Been doing DMRCT. Thinking of adding DBT and somatic experiencing. Huh. DBT is a complex too many C's in there, Roland. Complex condition to own its essence. Conscious mind has complications in realization and event to evaluate it. Goes into storage.
racializing, or are you trying to say something else?
I'm reading what Roland said. I'm having to read it out loud to comprehend it a little.
Right.
Yes. It's
Rationalizing, not racial. No racial anything here.
Typo?
And my brain went CBD, and I was trying to figure out what the heck.
Yeah, CBD oil is
But no, she said CBT.
Oh, she did. I thought I read that as CBD too as well.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's okay, Roland. Having that's why this is here is for all of us to talk and share knowledge and experience. And you are one of those guys with all the letters after the name.
Oh, the MD, DD, whatever. So many PhD, whatever. Is that what you're talking about?
Kinda, yeah.
All those letters you talking about, like the.
He's a smart feller.
Hmm.
He counsels people.
Ah, that's pretty cool. Actually, I tell you, it, I give you props on doing that. Really, to sit there and listen to everybody's problems, and you listen, and you're taking all that off. They're giving it out, and it's just right there with you. And how you can keep sane, not breaking down, is just amazes me. Because that's a lot of negative energy that just comes out, and you're just bathing in it.
That was CBT. Got it. Took me a minute to figure out DBT. Now, what's that one?
DBT. I never heard of DBT.
I think she meant to do CBT. Um, cognitive behavioral therapy. But I'm not familiar with EDMR. But I'm going to close. Self-actualization. There's many approaches to many things. And one way works for one. Oh, diet. So is it CBT that you were trying to say before, or DBT?
Dialect,
Well,
dialectical
earlier she said
behavior.
EDMR and CBT. Oh, adding deep. Never mind. I see it now. I'm okay. Have you tried cranial sacral therapy and the somato-emotional release?
Those terms sound familiar.
I trained in cranial sacral for like 3 years. I wanted to go in, and I had the books for the somato-emotional release, and then somebody took off with them. And they weren't cheap books, like $100 a piece.
Oh, okay.
The somato-emotional release. I had that when we were going through the training because we were each other's test subjects, and even in cranial sacral, just standard cranial sacral therapy, you can have an emotional release. You can have something literally rise up to the surface, and the instructor had told us a story before getting into that aspect of the training, that exercise, because we were getting into here, and I already knew that anything around my throat would cause issue. I could tell when they were working on my chest and they hadn't gotten to my throat. I could already feel something welling up. So I talked to her about it to effectively warn her that there might be an issue, because I had no idea what was going to happen. And anyway, she had talked about a gentleman who had abject fear of water, just completely, utterly, totally afraid of it. And they did a group of them out in Florida at the Upledger Institute, and was working on him, and he had his release. And in the process of all of that stuff coming up and everything, everybody in the room started smelling chlorine. And it was because his body was releasing this well, I'm going to call it trapped energy. Um, and in releasing that fear, he had the memory of being an infant and his mom throwing him up in the air, catching him and dunking him under the water in the pool, and throwing him up in the air and doing all that. Well, she thought he was enjoying it, but he was drowning. He was swallowing water, inhaling it, and everything, and she was not aware or observant or something. I would have thought you'd be able to tell that on your baby. At any rate, so that was his experience, that through the cranial sacral that it came up. But the cool thing or part of it was that everybody in the room smelled the chlorine. And this is what he was in his 30s. So 30 years after the fact, this came out, and then I was, excuse me, I have a sneeze. I don't know what the lingo is.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Roland.
I'll have to get you the name of the term. I don't know what it is, but there was a gentleman that I just met recently through doing a Zoom class or meetup, I guess you could call it, with people from my pranic healing, and he's some form of a counselor, but he was relating a similar story in what they were doing, but it wasn't craniosacral therapy, and I don't know the name of it. I don't know if WOW was part of the vernacular, or if it was just the WOW of the group. But he said that there was somebody there who this was going into cellular memory, that she was having issues for some. I don't even remember what the heck it was exactly. All I know was her grandmother, back in the early 1900s, 1920s or something, when they were using ether to put people unconscious for surgeries. She had experienced a problem, and they gave her the ether. And so here, her granddaughter is having some kind of flashbacks, weird stuff going on, and they did this thing with her, like what they did with the cranial sacral, but yet he claimed, because I don't know him and I don't have firsthand experience of that. I have firsthand experience with what I experienced in training. But he said that everybody, when they got to this point, she just started smelling of ether, and people were passing out from the ether releasing from her cells, from her pores. And like I said, I don't know if he was blowing smoke or I mean, it would be wrong of me to say, no, that's not possible, because I've seen stuff that may not be his story, but it correlates. So I don't know. I thought about, just because of curiosity, taking that training, but I'm not. I don't have the funds to go and waste all that, especially now with having to repair 2 vehicles at the same time. And then go to class.
It'll get done.
I know. It'll all get done. See?
Yep.
Now, holding a can't do or a frequency vibration of flat ass broke is just gonna keep it going.
And I'm guilty as sin with that one.
Yeah. So I mean,
But it's thing is, it's natural human, it's a natural feeling to do, because you see what you got, you see what this, but it's so easy and natural to feel that way, but you can't let it control you either.
But see, who's to say it's natural? It's a perception, I mean,
True.
why not just think that, okay, I'll get it. I know it's going to come. I don't know how it's going to come, but it's going to come. And I trust. And it'll all work out. It'll work out the way it's supposed to. But if I linger in the, oh, shoot, ain't going to happen, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I've been trying to work on that too as well. Thinking more positive along, hey, when something comes up, she'll be the one. She can be like freaking out about, and I mean, my wife will
Yeah.
be not so, but she'll be freaking out about, how is this going to get done and all. And hey, OG, but I'm
Hey,
like,
son.
hey, it's going to get done. Things will happen. I don't know how. I don't know when or what, but things are going to happen. So things will happen. It will get done. Oh, dude, that is deep.
See, I love this because I'm from a completely spiritual aspect of it, and I love Roland's.
See, I like psychological.
Me too. I love my psychology class. I
I've been
just had
around.
it.
I've been around them enough. I love them.
When I took, what was it, in college, I took a couple different psych classes, but one was psychology of human sexuality. That teacher was a dip.
I'm about worry about everything. Yeah.
But see, that becomes your focus. And so if you're always worried about it, you just make it happen. I mean, it's always going to be there. So if you can stop giving it, that doesn't mean that you're saying that you're closing your eyes to it. Just don't give it the emotion. Don't worry about it.
Don't give it power.
Yeah. You like, it's like, if I've got a rattlesnake, it was interesting, Roland. It really was. But this woman was such a dip, and I did not agree with some of the stuff. It was weird. My Psych 101 class that I think everybody had to take, um, the teacher came from the back of the room while everybody was waiting for him. He wasn't in there. And he took one of the chairs and slung it all the way down the aisle. Everybody was like, ah, up. And what the hell was that? It's like, what were you thinking? He was just making a point about people, I guess, you know, I think he was a smart aleck too. I think he came in and says, now that I've seen your, um, or now that I have your attention, I think is what he said. But, he was a jerk. I didn't like him.
I could, uh, uh, I, Ron, I could sit down. I'd love to talk to you sometime.
Oh, Roland is a hoot, especially
Uh,
when he's sitting in his toilet.
oh God, I don't want to know. But thanks, I don't need that image. Do not image out of my head. 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 Thank you.
But just
But
going,
I would love to sit and talk with you sometime. I mean, that would be awesome. Um,
there's escapism or denial. So if you've got an issue and you just know it's not there, it's not there, it's not there, it's still there because you are still thinking about it. Even though you're saying it's not there, you're still thinking about it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be saying it's not there. It's not there. You just address. Yes, green screen.
that's the thing. Like crap. That's funny. I would love to come up on the panel, but I have a client coming. Oh,
I know, sweetheart. I really do and love you, Roland. I am so glad that you came here.
I would. Wait a minute. Hey, so is he friends with you on Facebook?
No, I don't have him on Facebook. I don't even know if Roland is on Facebook.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was gonna say get him. I would love if he can, if he is, because the only way you can add me is if you know if he knows a
yeah, I
friend of
know.
a
I
friend.
know.
Um,
I got you.
yeah, but Roland, if you ever can, if you ever friend Soul, look me up. Well, you won't. She'll know tell you how to look me up, and just add because I would love to seriously sit and talk with you and just chew the fat, as I would say. But Crystal, I would.
Yeah,
Um,
the ice cream truck.
well, she said she would love to be a sex therapist. Was once my dream job, but not got the funds for that much schooling. It Here's the thing: make it happen. That's what my uncles always told me. Just make it happen. You're the one that can make it happen or not make it happen.
No, again, if you say you can or you say you can't, you're right. Or if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
All right, but I couldn't be a sex therapist. I'm sorry, I just couldn't. I got too much of a gutter mind. I'd be laughing the whole entire freaking time. Yeah, that would not be a good job
I
for me.
know. I could not see you doing it anyway. So, yeah, no, thank you.
But do it. Make it happen. There's things. There's grants. There's everything out there. There's grants, loans, whatever. Just make it. You can make it happen. Even grants, scholarships.
That's funny. I hear the thunder rolling, and
Mhm.
then your um, window kind of lit up from whatever. It's like, oh, you're getting the lightning, and I'm getting the sound.
Travel. Hey, sound travels far.
I'm being bad and eating a cherry. At least it's not Costello.
I have to limit social media. This is a standard practice to protect clients.
Yeah.
Oh, that's understandable. Yeah. Besides, I'm probably too nuts for you anyways, because I pulled into the parking lot and I had one person come running out of the building I was supposed to be seeing to treat me. They ran out of the building and told me to get back in the car. They couldn't help me. That's that, ain't it? Oh, now see,
I'm not going there, Crystal.
Crystal, next time I see you someplace, I'm gonna have to tell you a story about that.
Oh, this is funny.
Uh,
Um,
she won't. I don't want to say it on her channel because I'm gonna respect her on it. But I will. Next time I see you on someplace else or something, we can talk about that. Let me tell you a story about something.
tell her on Facebook.
I don't have her on Facebook. I could put it in the circle chat, the circle thing. The
She's not in it.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. I'll catch you on another
I
live.
don't.
I know I'll see you.
Do I have you, Crystal, on Facebook? I'm trying to be good and get back, at least get on there somewhat. I'm just not been very. I don't like social media. You are in Soul's group.
Okay.
Okay, so then you hit her
Look
up
me,
there.
Crystal. Look me up. Add me. I'll tell you. I'll tell you some stories.
Um,
Um.
do to change the topic here a little bit because I want to give something more. in regards to the law of attraction, does everybody familiar with making a vision board?
Okay, Roland.
You do Facebook? I will
I'm part of the cast.
I will look for you, Rolly. Um, okay, so you know how you make a big giant board, and the vision board you usually put on a wall, but it's always in one room or one spot, in particular. You don't carry it around with you. You can't keep it in your purse. Certainly can't, put it in the back seat of your car and turn around and stare at it. But you can kind of make a micro vision board by using 3x5 cards. And then each card you write stuff on, put a picture, write your stuff, and then get those. I don't have one handy, but one of the binder clips. And then that way you've got it, and maybe you're stuck in traffic, and then you just flip through them. So this becomes your mini portable vision board. I heard brakes.
Damn you. Dang you.
Okay, I'm hearing stuff. It wasn't here, it was on your side. But anyway, so doing vision boards and micro vision boards and putting them on the card, you want to speak, in current tense, not I will have, but and you want to add as much feeling and emotion into it. You was not me. I mean, you was not you. It was not you. Got it, Roland. It just took me a minute.
Okay, I got a question. All
I
right.
got an answer.
Okay. All right. No offense, but this seems like this storyboards and stuff. This seems like it's more popular with the girls than guys.
Nope. I know lots of men that do it.
Well, okay, they probably do, but I've heard of storyboards, but the only where I've heard it is girls doing it and
Right.
all, and that's it. So that's why I say, I think. But okay, what's affirmations? What is affirmations?
Okay, so like a good one for people who are dealing with low self-esteem, or a program,
Hmm.
having heard that they weren't good enough, doing shadow work on themselves, um, writing in big giant letters on your bathroom mirror, I am enough. That's an affirmation. So while you're shaving, combing your hair, brushing your teeth, washing your face, you're looking at yourself with the words, I am enough. And that sends that subconscious message. It becomes an implant, if for lack of a better term. Um, you can write on, I know many businessmen that use 3x5 cards, and they write down their story basically of, like, I have the new job. I finally graduated from college. I got my degree. Always in the past tense, and they're writing their stuff down, and they'll keep
Huh?
them kind of in an order. I like the colored. Yes, I like the colored ones, but using different. I thought I had the rainbows, but I only got the blues handy. Um, but writing these things down, and so like he said, it's common task in the corporate world is putting things down. I mean, if you look, what was that movie with DiCaprio, The Wolf of Wall Street? I think that's it. There was um there was lots of that going on in there. There are other people, um, Zig Ziglar. I'm trying to think who else. I mean, there's lots of
Oh,
well-known, famous people that have used them.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, and to now, forgive me, Roland, or correct me, one or the other. Um, I see storyboards and the vision boards slightly different, only because I guess terminology. Um, Storyboards kind of look more like the old PowerPoint um, flowcharts, and whereas the vision board kind of, you find something that represents you and you start to populate all these things around it, for your goals, like you in your brand new car, and you know standing on the fence of your ranch property, and so you get crafty and get a bunch of pictures of you that you print out on your printer and cut them out and all of that other stuff. um,
Okay. Okay. So, okay. All right. Now, see, this is what I'm picturing. Again, I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry, but you know, and this is, I guess, is the only way I'm getting to perspective of a storyboard, like or whatever, board, is that like they have the picture of them in the picture of you in the center, and you have the lines going out to these other images. Let's say, you know, uh, you know, graduate high school, the perfect boyfriend, then marriage, or college, then marriage, and and then a house with a family and stuff like that. That's what is that. Come on, talk right. Is that what it is? Uh, You know,
didn't quite understand what you said, but men use it too, Carl, and they do the same thing, like wanting to have the better job, wanting to have a better home for their family, wanting to have a better car. um, if you watch the movie The Secret, and John Assaraf, or Assaraf, Assaraff, or something like that. Not quite sure how. He was an entrepreneur. He was in the movie. Um, and so he had done his vision board because he wanted a better job. He wanted more money. He wanted a house, and the house that he cut out as the example for what he wanted to eventually be able to afford and buy and move in, right? That was his goal.
Wow.
They had just, according to the movie, they had just moved into this house, and his son had come in to ask questions and whatnot. And as he was getting ready to like box up or unbox something, he pulled out his vision board and he realized, oh shoot,
damn.
the the image of the house that was on his vision board was the exact house they bought. It was 10 years later, he started that vision board, like 10 years before, but he ended up actually buying the house that he put on his vision board. Just didn't realize that that image out of the magazine that he cut, that house became available when he was in the market, and there you go.
Wow, that's incredible. Um, yes, I'm learn I'm learning a few things
There
tonight.
is um
I've never been around vision boards and stuff. I never have. I mean, like I
there
said, I've only heard of girls having them, and I'm sorry.
well, they like Roland said, like we've all said, men have them. They've used them for business, for planning out, maybe figuring out not quite so much storyboardish, but seeing everything laid out so that they knew what their goals were. This was the end goals. These are the steps to get there, and taking pictures. And you need to incorporate things that make you feel. So you have to generate the feeling. Like when we did the meditation, and I told you to hold something in your heart and feel that love and that everything. Just from that person that you were holding in your heart, and then taking that energy and expanding it out. I'm not a fan of his, but I watch him every once in a while. His name is Greg Braden. He's a big, um, I don't want to say new age because it's not really new age, and I hate that term, but he's done a lot of research and travels all over the world, and he's into the positive thinking, but he's very much into the human aspect of where we came from. And one of the things in one of his videos, and I don't mean to be obscure, that's not the goal because I just don't know what to call him. I don't, there's something about him that just rubs me the wrong way. But he had done a lecture about a Coptic monastery in Egypt that they had found, got to go see. And as they were there, no, not Brady, Braden, Bradden, Gregg, I think it is. But anyway, they had gone to the monastery. They had heard rumors or whatever about this monastery having been pretty much untouched for thousands of years.
Mm.
And they get there, and they get tour and stuff, and they want to go see this specific area. But to get there, you had to pass through some of their most holy areas. Like any monks that were there, they died there. And they would meticulously clean the body, clean the bones, and then the skulls were all put in this room. And they knew exactly where every part of every body of every monk for thousands of years was. If you wanted to find a monk, Hosea in whatever 57 BC, they had records and knew exactly where that skull was, where that femur was, in what room. So they were very reverent, very meticulous. They kept all this stuff. And finally, he got permission to go to this one room. Now, mind you, everywhere they've been, there's no electricity. And so they finally got the top honcho to agree to let them in. And what they ran into once they got inside was lights and computers, and everybody was working on taking all of the original manuscripts and translating them, writing them down, getting them onto the computers, because they said that they've never been attacked in the thousands of years that, and I guess it's the oldest Coptic monastery, but they're expecting to be attacked. And so in order to save all of those books, all of those scrolls, the writings and everything throughout history, they were putting it onto the computers. And I believe it was the book of Matthew that there's a phrase in there, the ask and ye shall receive. We've always heard that, everybody always says, ask and ye shall receive. But that's only part of it. It's not even the full scope of the paragraph or the stanza. It's missing two sentences. And I paraphrasing because I don't remember verbatim what it was, but essentially it was surround yourself with that of what you desire. and be filled with gratitude. And what it was meaning was feel as if it's real. Feel as if you've already got that here. Roland was telling you about using the you needed emotion along with the vision board. You've got to have the emotions there. If you can't feel like you've already got it in your hot little hands, make it real, because understanding that
Probably destroyed all
you know what you imagine, your mind cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. There is that finite thing. You could be so down into the vision of it and the creating its reality, your body will react to that vision, to that experience, as if you're really having it. I told you about the NASA and the Olympic tests, um, not tests. Well, yeah, the study that they did. They took Olympic athletes in the 80s. They hooked them up to sophisticated biofeedback machines and had them run their races in their minds. So they imagined, stepping up to the starting block, feeling the track underneath their shoes, the sounds. They imagined every single aspect of it, down to the starter's gun going off and then taking off. And what they discovered was that every muscle in the body fired in the exact sequence as if they were physically running the race. So if you can hold and imagine like you are tasting it, smelling it, excuse me. Okay. Tickle's gone. Maybe not. But you live it, you breathe it, you feel it, you experience it as if it is physically real for you. And then just be so utterly grateful, so filled with gratitude that this is yours. And that is what the whole idea of prayer was. It wasn't just asking, you shall receive. That was half-ass and only part of it. You had to live it and breathe it. You had to make it real in order for it to become real, to get what you asked for. And that is like the only thing I think out of all the stuff that I've ever watched him do that I really took away from that, because it's like, yes, science says, remember we've talked before, Dr. Joe Dispenza has done related a couple different studies where they took people, put a cast on their arm, and in two groups, one group was sitting here doing isolated, I guess it was forearm, uh, for isolating the muscle. So they were doing like forearm curls, just wrist curls. And the people that had their whole entire arm cast to their elbow, so they couldn't move their wrist, they had them imagine, just mentally imagine that they were physically lifting the weight and curling their wrists. And they had an 18% increase in muscle mass, and it lasted for, I think they said something like 6 weeks, because they didn't believe. They'd done other tests that proved that they could think it and basically think it into being. So imagining that curl, and repetitively, they did it with the piano students. Remember, we talked about that too. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Kind of, sort of.
I know bicycle into play. I remember that one.
The what?
Bicycle, where like you can imagine and you like riding a bicycle and sitting still. I remember that.
I haven't talked about bicycles. Must have been somebody else.
I get told a lot of things. Write on a card and reference it. Often jot down, respond to, react to. unconscious level, we know what we should do. The storyboard will educate the subconscious to a common choice. Oh, because we're seeing it over and over. Is that, I think?
You have to correlate an emotion to it,
Right.
and that makes the subconscious mind go, aha, I got it.
I think I'll try that because there's a lot of things I could, yeah.
But no, so the different things that I've said in my chat over the last several months, excuse me, regarding all this was where they took 3 groups of people, measured their brain waves, or their, checked their brains to see, status, this and that, whatever else. Took imagery there. Then they took one group and actually had them only learn a 5-finger exercise. They had to commit to 2 hours. I guess it was like either, I don't know the time frame. It was either once a day for 2 weeks, or it was 3 times a week for 2 weeks, but they had to practice 2 hours. That was them with the physical. They took the other one, and they just, without using their hand, they had to go and visualize. They learned, they saw the exercise, so they knew what it was, but they weren't sitting here and doing this in the air. They were just imagining it. And they had to do the same thing for 2 hours, et cetera, et cetera. And the third group, they were told, just don't do anything. And then they rechecked them. And the group that was imagining it, they had new neural pathways that were formed, which showed that their brain learned new things. So they proved that through just imagining the process. So like if you've played the bass guitar, just imagine the licks and hear the music in your head and just know what your fingers are, and that will create that muscle memory. The neurons in the brain will form new synaptic connections. They did the same thing, like I said, with those people in take care, Rolly. Love you bunches. See, they took people and they did the like I said, the in the 80s, taking that group of Olympic athletes and hooking them up and having them imagine the race. You've got also Dr. Dispenza, who was in the middle of a triathlon riding the bicycle part of the race and getting taken out by an SUV, and he was paralyzed. And they didn't have any real hope for him ever even being able to stand, let alone walk again. He refused the surgery that they recommended, and he spent 6 weeks trying to meditate and visually rebuild his spine. What was I correct, Rolly? I opened my eyes. Anyway, I'll wait and see if he says something, or otherwise I don't know what I said. But anyway, he rebuilt his spine, basically trying one vertebrae at a time, but he could never finish it. And you get frustrated, but finally he had this breakthrough in his meditation, and he was able to just go through there and feel, and he felt himself beginning to walk, to have feeling again in his feet, to feel that, muscles and whatnot. And so he went through all of that. The man for the last 20 years has been teaching and talking and all over the country because he's healed just from doing that. Then you've got Morris Goodman, who crashed his plane in Austin. He had a biplane. I told you about him.
Mm-hmm.
And he too was paralyzed. Crushed his larynx. tore the diaphragm, so he couldn't breathe, he couldn't talk, couldn't swallow, couldn't walk because damaged his spinal cord. And they thought he was nothing more than a vegetable. And he would blink his eyes, but they were saying that that is a normal um, thing that vegetable, people who are stuck in a vegetative state do. Their eyes blink, and it's like they're still, active on some level. It's just parasympathetic. So anyway, a nurse happened to think that no, I don't think he's a vegetable. I think he's actually trying to communicate. Yep. And so, long story short, he got the nurse to, they figured out a way of making a chart, and she'd point to which row, he'd blink on which row it was, and then however many letters. And he spelled out that he would walk out of that hospital by Christmas. And he did. So 9 months after his accident, he was able to walk. He still had a long way to go, but he was able to get up out of that wheelchair and walk out the door. And then we got the reverse. There was a gentleman who was a truck driver, and either the wind came by and shut his door, or he walked in the back, climbed in the back of a reefer, refrigerated trailer for an 18-wheeler, and somehow the door got shut and he was locked in there. And he kept thinking about the refrigeration, and he was going to freeze to death, and it was getting cold, and he started, I guess, scratching in the wood floor and in the dust on the wall, and basically talking about how cold it was and that he was going to die. They found him the next day dead. And that reefer didn't work. It wasn't cold, but he believed he was freezing to death. So you can think yourself well or think yourself sick. Yep, I remember reading that, Crystal, about Bruce Lee. He got injured really badly. I think one a car accident or a motorcycle accident.
I think it was a car accident or something. And I think he got hurt another time on the set.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean he was an awesome dude, and he was the same way. He was like, he wasn't gonna let it get him down. He was gonna and he got up and walked again and everything else. They didn't think he was gonna be able to walk, like you said.
Yeah. So see, we are only limited by our fears, our programs that we have received as children. I would also throw into that our shadow, because our shadow forms when we have a reaction to, like, the example I gave before was being a very emotional child. And little boy being very emotional, and the message he got was that crying over somebody being hurt, a dog or whatever, or even a cartoon or something, but that behavior was unacceptable. And of course, there was no differentiating between his behavior being unacceptable and him being unacceptable. So here comes the shadows starting to be formed, and through that, um, his life, this shadow begins to grow along with him. And so some shadow stuff can also keep us hindered, keep us held back.
Well, I guess that I could see that, and I guess that's like, you know, with me and being in school and all, um, I was bullied all the way from kindergarten all the way up to ninth grade, and I was always constantly told that oh, squirrel moment, sorry.
Yeah.
Um, um,
Yes.
you know, and I was always told that I was worthless.
Mm-hmm.
That you know, I wasn't worth the skin that. And now talk about this is in elementary school. By the way, they were telling me this, that I wasn't worth the skin that I wore. I should,
Night, Melissa.
not Melinda. I wasn't worth the air that I
See you
breathe
tomorrow night.
and all, and that I should die, kill myself, and die, and save the air for everybody else. And and all through the rest of the years, I was told I was worthless by other kids. I wouldn't amount to anything. I was stupid, and all because mainly was because I was in special ed the whole entire time, and that's the only reason why they picked on me. Well, still today,
Walter.
you know, I have that, I guess, shadow on me because I think to myself, you know, a lot of times I'm not, I'm worthless. I can't, I won't mount to anything. Um, I can't do anything right or anything. But I'm starting to try to work on that because I must have done something right. I mean, I got a beautiful wife. I got an awesome kid. So I must have done something right.
Okay, so the shadow, like I said, is formed very early on, and it grows with us. And shadows are triggered. So anger comes up from shadows. Uh, let's pretend um, that I have a jealous streak, and I really
Mm,
don't even know why I've got jealousy. And I go somewhere with the hubby, and he's talking to another woman, and I come over there just and um, uh, and I'm just lashing out at him like, "Why are you talking to her?" And da 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 da, and he's not doing anything wrong. He's just talking to a person there. But I have this absolute reaction to it that doesn't make sense. And so what it boils down to is stopping instead of reacting, feeling that jealousy. And it's like, wait a minute. Okay, so why am I jealous? Not doing anything wrong. Not kissing on her, not holding her. They're just standing there talking, you know. Um, well, I got cheated on. Got cheated on. Okay. So that stuff, is lingering in. Now, if I take it from the paranormal side of things and seeing auras, that stuff's resident here. Those thoughts and feelings, those wounds that I didn't get rid of, would still be here. Um, I would not call it a soul wound, Crystal. Uh, your soul brings in karma. It brings in stuff that maybe you haven't dealt with. Your physical body will, dealt with in the past, in other lifetimes. Your physical body will hang on to hooks and things that your soul brought with it because you weren't done with it. It could be a what's the word? Ancestral or generational wounds, something that happened to somebody else in my family, and the sins of the father down to the visited upon 10 sons kind of malarkey. um, but your shadow work, we are programmed from the moment we're born, whether we realize it or not. Our subconscious mind is on. Our subconscious mind helps us learn language, learn mother, father. This is how they interact. They talk, they fight, they do whatever. This is what you're observing from day one. Um, It's squirrel. It's
Mm.
all being planted. Think of it like all these seeds being planted from the gate. There's an interesting book called E Squared, big old letter E and a number two. And this woman that wrote it,
I love them too.
are you done? Are you done? Hey, here. Anyway, her name is Pam Grout. And it's an interesting read. It's informative. I can't say I agree 100% with everything she talks about, but um, she details her life that when she was born and she was in the little bassinet in the hospital next to mom's bed, and dad comes in and mom's all gushing about her beautiful baby girl, and he looks down at her and says, "That's the ugliest baby I have ever seen." And that was imprinted on that newborn. It was registered upon the subconscious mind, placed in the energetic field, whatever you want to view it as. And as she grew up very much because that was the message her father kept giving her, being the ugly duckling. It wasn't until she got into college and hadn't been home for a while, and through whatever mechanisms, opportunities, and stuff, she started discovering how to work through, get rid of, at least she thought, until she went back home. Now, mind you, she details that, that time period people saw her and they're like, "Did you do something different with your hair? Have you done something, got your face worked on, whatever?" Because everything seemed to be changing about her. Like her physical structure was going from the ugly duckling into the swan kind of thing. And then she went home and discovered, oh, dad's still at it. Dad still makes me feel like I'm not worthy and I'm ugly and I'm blah, blah, blah. And that kind of set up a little bit of a tailspin for her, but she worked her way out of that. So, our minds are powerful, and our subconscious mind plays these stories that we're not good enough, that, I had the same exact thing. I was not I was not good enough to breathe the air I was breathing. Probably why I got strangled. So you can you can move beyond that doing this work. That's one thing that we had talked about a couple months back, was doing shadow
Uh-huh.
work. I think even Crystal was here for that. Was we talked about needing to do shadow work. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Crystal, want to know if you do audio books.
I do. I like actually. Yeah, audiobooks are a lot better than reading books. I can actually do them better. I don't have patience to read.
Hey, thank you, child. But yeah, so these are all little bits of things that you learn. They're just tools in your toolbox. It's like, instead of getting upset at at the alternator and it taking control, you just kind of stop and it's like, I'm the soul running the show, and I ain't letting the stupid piece of metal get the best of me. Okay. There's a hole in my love cup.
Hmm.
Almost had it.
You've heard of that book before?
Not me. Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see who it's by.
Let's see if I can get it on Kindle.
There's a hole in my love cup. Amazon has the book. I don't see. I didn't put audio, but anyway, it's the badass counseling method for healing the soul and unleashing greatness. Kindle edition. So there is a Kindle edition.
Good. And see what I can do is I can get my man bun up there to read it.
Your man bun?
Yeah. See, my man bun.
What are you talking about? Oh, that.
Yeah, my man bun.
I got you now.
Everybody calls it my man bun. I'll have to look that up.
From Sven Erlandson. Children, enough. But, I mean, there are probably, I don't know, there's a multitude of different there's a multitude of different paths to healing.
Oh, I can get it for free. Oh, it's $9.99, but I got $9.99 credits, so I can get it. I can get it for free.
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Maybe I got another book I need to finish reading. Actually, I'm behind.
Well, so, like I said, there's a multitude of ways of healing, and we've all, I don't know of anybody who doesn't have some sort of baggage. And in these 63 years of walking and 58 years, 59 of studying, because that's, I guess, when they started me out at this, there isn't a right way or wrong way, but you can discover what's right for you. And everybody's coming into your life for a reason, to offer a hand, to show a light in the corner of the darkness. Um, Ultimately, though, it boils down to whether or not you want to be healed. If you want to have more health, more movement, more control, more awareness, more knowledge, more fill in the blanks. Okay, where the heck is this? Emergency alert severe. DPS issues a blue alert on behalf of Wise County Sheriff's Office for Royce Edward Wood, 43 years old. White male, 6 feet 2 inches, 200 pounds, bald head with a beard. Last seen wearing a baseball cap with camo, bandana, green shirt, vest, shorts, and black sunglasses. I don't know where Wise County is. And does that mean they've seen this guy elsewhere? Do I have to go find my gun?
So he's an escapee?
Doesn't say. And yeah, it's not. I guess I'll have to look. look for it and pull it up on the computer. I don't know, Crystal. It I don't know what a blue alert is. I guess it means it's high alert. And I don't know where Wise County is because is it Virginia? Is there a Wise County, Texas? I mean, why would I get it? I guess there is a Wise County, Texas. Oh. Sorry, guys, I'm taking a look because if he's anywhere near this area, I want to make sure I can. Decatur Airport, Bridgeport, 380. I don't know where any of this stuff is.
Oh wow! I just put blue alert. I just Googled blue alert, and it came up blue alert Wise County.
You got a blue alert, Wise County?
I just Googled blue alert, and it came up blue alert Wise County.
Wow.
Let's see. Officer injured in shooting during Sunday traffic stop. Suspect still. Third authorities are searching for a man they say shot a Rome, Texas police officer during a traffic stop in Wise County Sunday night.
Well, this is above Fort Worth. So that's like 5 hours away. But hey, 5 hours by car.
Oh, let's see what your picture. Let's bring your picture up. Do they have a picture of him? Yeah, they do. This is the guy they're looking for. So,
hold on. Coming back. Who?
Yeah, I get the heebie-jeebies off of him.
Well, at least he only shot the officer in the leg. "43-year-old, bald, 6'2", 200 pounds, green eyes. Last seen on foot wearing a baseball cap with camo bandana around it. Okay. Rome, Texas.
Well, I'm getting south.
Huh. So blue alerts are when a suspect is wanting for harming law enforcement. So that's why it's a blue. Okay. Well, hey, I learned something new.
Why am I getting south? South, down.
Well, I'm south 5 hours from there. So if that's the case, I'm going to call on the big guns and have them circle the wagons.
No. I'm getting border.
Well,
he's heading towards the border. That's his intentions. He wants to get out of Dodge.
Well, yeah, because he's trying not to go to jail.
Yep, that's why he's heading towards the border.
Yeah, well, thankfully I'm 3 hours from the border.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so this is fun. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I got handguns. I think my rifles are in the studio.
I think we lost some. I think some fell asleep on us.
Oh, it's okay. I ate my cherries. I'm good.
Because I got 2 that are not responding anymore,
Yeah.
and I don't know how many's in the chat.
Well, it says 4.
We know Crystal's still here.
Yep. Well,
Is
I'm a good shot, so I'm not terribly worried.
is Pam and Amanda still here?
Pam, Amanda, and Donnie. I haven't heard anything from Donnie.
There's Pam. I mean, Amanda. Pam's still here. Okay, she just messaged me finally. Slow pokes. See, that's why I stay talk YouTube. I gotta watch YouTube.
Yeah. So play with the scissors. Okay, yeah. There we go. For some reason I completely blew my vision out. The scissors and the ring, whether you want whatever way you want to do it. Oh, honey. Resuscitate it. But your questions, first off is like make a statement is that, this is, this is for my highest good or the highest good of all. And then, oh, hold on one second here. Hey, girl. Hi. I'm finishing up, winding up the chat. Okay, I'll call you right back. Love you. Bye. All right. Anyway, but start that off with, calibrating for the highest good of all. And then, hey, Donnie, I'm glad. And then just like, do a test. Make a statement that you know is false and see if you get the false. Make a statement that's true and see if you get true. And then after that, you do it in statements, not a yes or no questions, just a statement that, it's like the sky is falling. The sky is blue. Well, it's dark blue, so I guess that's not blue, it's dark. The sky, the sun is up. I don't know, is the moon up? It's dark out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just play with it, fix things. Am I taking the right vitamins? No. Am I taking the right vitamin D? Okay. Am I taking the right vitamin A? Okay. Am I taking the right zinc? Ooh, my zinc is not good.
Oh, I got one for you.
Okay.
Does Carl get on your nerves?
Yes.
Wow, I'm surprised. That actually shocked me. Okay.
And actually, those were still yes or no. It's kind of like, but it still worked for you, so I don't care.
Oh, Carl's a pain in the butt. Well.
And try for calibration, calibrating for truth, calibrating for truth, for the highest good of all, resist. Okay. That statement there, calibrating for truth, sets this is the truth. Da-da. And then from there,
the methylated zinc.
yes. Methylated is really good. Also folate. I've got methylfolate somewhere. Should I be taking methylfolate or I need methylfolate? Okay. I need milk thistle. Okay. I need. Got to get the word. Aha. I need megabenfotiamine. I need estrogen. Ooh, see, I don't need estrogen.
Soul needs to quit eating so much pistachios.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Walter has fleas. Resist. Yes. I love you. Resist. So there. Bob's your uncle. I just saw a nod.
Is Bob my uncle? See? Been lied.
Oh, that. Oh. Oh.
You lied to me. Bob is not my uncle.
I didn't do Bob's your uncle and pull.
No, you said Bob's your uncle.
I know.
Bob's my uncle. See?
But I saw him nod his head. It was like, yeah. It's like, yep, she was going to go there. Does Crystal ever shut up? Look at you, woman.
Oh, let's see. Does Crystal ever shut up? Oh, I got a yes.
Which crystal are we talking about?
Not that one. No.
But yeah, so aside from that, if anybody's got any questions, you can leave it in the comment section below or go to the Facebook page and set it there. But I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody, Mitakawe Washin, thank you so much for sharing space with me, for putting up with me, because I got kind of lost there today. Yep. And thank you very much, Sling, for being Secretary Sling and sharing space with me.
Right, thank
I
you.
need to share space with you all. I love you bunches so very much. Tomorrow night, 7:30 is
Circle.
Sitting Circle. Thank you.
You're welcome. I am the secretary.
Yep. And then Thursday night is 8 o'clock for the chakras.
Oh, question though. You do have something else scheduled for 9 o'clock on Friday?
I don't know.
Because you had 3 thumbnails. Let's see. 16th, the 16th you got at 8:30, the circle. And
the circle is tomorrow. That's at 7:30. 8 o'clock is Thursday.
Yeah, the 16th you got Thursday is scheduled for.
16th is tomorrow.
Right, and you had that scheduled for, I think I saw 6:30.
7:30, 8:30 your time.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, why it's not pulling up those reminders anymore for you?
I don't know, dear. No worries, Crystal. We'll see you when you get there. But I'm going to let
Not
everybody know. I love you bunches. Well, we'll start beginning on 175. But like, you need me to talk that fast? Really?
My dad does. He's an auctioneer.
Oh
yeah. Circle's at 8:30 my time.
No, 8. Oh, 8:30. Yeah, I'm saying
8:30 Eastern time, my time.
Right.
But I saw another one on there for 9 p.m. I thought it was. Oh yeah.
That's Thursday.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Thursday's at 9 p.m. 6/17 at 9 p.m.
Right.
Okay.
Now that you've confused the hell out of me.
Well, I don't remember being there at that time period.
Yeah, that was because they were saying, no, it's always been 8. That's what was written down because I kept saying, I'm hearing 8 o'clock, so I'm going with 8.
Yeah, but I think that was 8 Eastern they meant to say. They were saying
Nope.
Oh, really? So y'all want to make me go late? Okay, that's fine.
Sorry. Love you
Oh,
both. I'm out of here.
Bye, everybody.
Sweet dreams, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow night. There.